If you want to learn how to attract women, there's a secret that goes far beyond pickup lines, routines, NLP, or anything remotely similar. When you possess this secret, you'll be able to walk into a room, anytime you want, and have the most attractive women in the room approach you, wanting to hook up with you. It's the secret behind why actors or athletes can walk into a room, and within moments, seemingly have every single hot woman in the room is approaching them, flirting, handing small papers with their phone number on it. Very often, without even asking. If you've never seen this happen with your own two eyes, you might think it's nothing more than fantasy, but it does happen, only to a select few men. I actually saw this happen one night at a posh club here in South Beach, Miami. I'm standing next to the bar with a buddy of mine, we watch this go down. Meanwhile, the actor was effed up on something, booze, blow, or who the hell knows what, he could barely keep his eyes open. And with the actor barely saying a word, woman after woman approached him. The only thing running through my mind was holy fuck. There's gotta be something to this, he's attracting women without doing anything. Then it hit me. It all comes down to having a higher status than the women you wanna meet. When you do this, you can attract women without really doing anything. If you wanna learn how to attract women without really doing anything, you need to learn how to convey that you have a higher status than her. That's the secret. 4 things that convey a higher status. Number 1, eye contact. We all know how important eye contact is, it's pretty much written in every single dating book on the market, but I've found that it's also a great indirect way of showing you have a higher status than a woman. Remember, if she sees you as having a higher status, she will instantly be more attracted and interested in you. When you're speaking to her, or if she's speaking to you, look at her eyes. Direct eye contact shows high status, lack of it shows low status. You can also look away at some points and not look back at her while she's talking. This is a great way to show indirectly that she isn't interesting enough and you have a higher status. Number 2, take up more space. Sit closer to her, talk louder, invade her space a bit, become what I call a space invader. It's a bit of an uncomfortable feeling, but when you do it to a woman, within reason and at the right time, you give off this sense of, hey, I'm totally comfortable with the situation and I'm in control here. Naturally, that conveys a sense of higher status. She'll become intrigued, and you know from what I teach that one of my core ideas is this: mystery equals intrigue, intrigue equals interest. Number 3, stand tall with your head up, never walk with your head down. It doesn't matter how much of a dork you feel, or what happened in your day, always walk with your head up. It conveys confidence and status. Remember, you have something no other guy can give any other woman. You. Number 4, make your head higher. Arrange things so that your head is higher than your partner's. Stand when she sits, when she leans forward, you sit up straight. The subtle point here is that your head always seems to be higher than hers, so you must have a higher value than her. Very subtle, but you are communicating on another level. What happens when you show a higher status? In a nutshell, you become more confident. Confidence is essential to conveying you have a higher status. You might have zero confidence with women, yet you might be a superstar at work. Use the confidence from that. When you walk up to meet a woman, think of how great you are at work. That in and of itself should make you feel more confident. Think about it. You are a great guy, you make a good living and you've got a lot going for you. Why should you feel less than a woman that works at the mall, flippin' burgers, making $7.50 an hour? Just because she looks good? I'll tell you a quick little story. Back in the day, I used to have no confidence with women. Zero. I'd walk around all day with my head down. For real. I'd stare at the floor while I was walking down the street, and the worst part was I didn't even realize I was doing it. When my design work started doing well, I became more confident, not with women, but just overall. One night I walk into a party and I remember thinking to myself, I am the fucking man. I'm an amazing artist. I'm awesome and I rule. Funny thing is, that it actually worked. No shit. I was so natural and I started talking to women at this party, which back then was completely out of my comfort zone, but because I had the confidence in my work I used it to carry over into my personal life. When you're confident, you're relaxed and more like your natural self, you also send this vibe out to others. People feed off this vibe and you'll be amazed at what you seem to attract. When you're confident and showing you've got a higher status, you don't come off needy. And we all know that women see needy men as weak and pathetic. You act more like yourself. It's amazing when you're confident, you tend to lean back, relax and let your real personality shine through. This is when you're most like yourself, not the usual nervous needy guy. That's not you. You've just been nervous around women, so that's your brain's default program. If you've read any of my material you probably get the sense that I don't want you to become this social robot, where it's all about a technique or pickup line, because when you chose that path, you're relying on tricks and gimmicks, and as you've probably imagined, it's so much deeper than that. You're not trying so hard when you've conveyed a higher status, being more confident and acting like yourself. The result is you're becoming a natural. This is the place you want to be. When you've reached this place, you're out having fun and not thinking about how to attract women or how to pick women up. You're not wondering what you should or shouldn't say. None of that matters. You just act. And that's when your success skyrockets. It's magic. When you try too hard, like you might be doing now, you show that you have a lower status than the woman you're with. You show her either directly or indirectly that you are needy and you're hiding something from her. So the point is, don't try too hard. Lean back and relax. Your time is valuable. When you have a high status, you realize that your time is important and you start to value your time. So if you're out with a woman you met using insider internet dating, and it's not going where you want, or you're just not interested, you have absolutely no hesitations about ending it. Remember, if you don't place a value on your time then no other woman will. You need to show you're busy. On the phone, by not talking for a long time, 10 to 15 minutes max, by not being so available to see her 5 times a week, and finally by not seeing her on the weekends until she's earned that time with you. You become socially intelligent. What I mean by this is you start to know what's really going on. It's like when Neo saw the Matrix. He could see what was really happening, he had clarity. When you start to see when a woman is trying hard to impress you or when women give each other that look, you just nod your head 'cause you get it. When you've got this part down, it's easy to talk to a girl and bust on her for not following up with the flirting. This is letting her subtly know that you know what's up. You get it? And it's a very attractive quality women love. How C&F demonstrates a higher status. I need to thank David D for bringing us this technique. I love it personally. Think about this for a second. You are busting on a woman, teasing her in a playful, fun, not angry way where most guys would be petrified to do that. By you doing this you show you have a higher status than her. You can call her cute, brat, punk. The point is, by you not kissing up to her, by not being like most of the other guys, you are showing her that you must have a higher status than her. I mean, why else would you bust on some hot girl? You must have a higher status. The end results of showing you have a higher status? When you have a high status, women start wanting you more. Not only that, other girls see this and they'll start to want you as well. In other words, you're like a target for women, in a good way. They seem to have a radar lock on you and you've got no idea why. I mean you do, but you're shaking your head thinking, wow, this actually does work. Question is why? Remember back when you were a kid in school? Remember when you had no girls? You couldn't get a date to save your life, but when you did have a girlfriend, it seemed like every girl in school had a crush on you, and you find this out when you have a girlfriend. Remember that? Why did all of these women have a crush on you all of a sudden? It's because when you had the girl you became a guy who had a higher status. Funny, isn't it? When you convey you have a higher value, women will go out and take all kinds of risks, risking losing her value to get your approval. They pursue you. Oh, and looks have absolutely nothing to do with this. The higher value you show, the more women want you, and the more women will want you to recognize them and be with them. They'll try to get you hooked into a relationship before you're even ready. Don't let this happen. Women will try to impress you with things, they will try to qualify themselves to you. Start to pay attention to this in your regular life as well. I guess my point is, once you've conveyed a higher status, other people will try hard to gain your interest. You become the pursued, not the pursuer. And when you're able to use the power of leverage to meet and date a lot of women, you get really good at this sort of stuff very fast. Why use the internet instead of bars/clubs? Let's say in order for you to really get this, it's gonna take you going out with 10 different women. Could be more, could be less, but let's just go with 10. How long would it take you to get 10 dates the way you're doing it now? You'd probably have to get at least 20 numbers to get 10 dates from a bar/club, because we all know how flaky those women are. Smiley face. If you got one number a night, 2 nights a week, that's 2 numbers a week. 2 numbers a week divided by 20 equals 10 weekends. Have you gotten 2 numbers a weekend, for 10 weekends straight? I know I haven't. Are you willing to do what it takes to get 20 numbers in a bar/club? I didn't think so. Let me show you a much easier way. You send out, say, 100 emails over a period of 2 to 3 weeks, spending about 2 minutes per email. You get 30 numbers. You set up 20 dates, and by the time you're halfway done with those 20 dates, you get it. The best part? Because you have so many dates lined up, you don't care about the outcome of any one. You start to apply these subtle concepts to use, and your results keep getting better. Plus, you don't need to go out to a club and have that pressure of having to attract women that night, because you already know you have 20 dates lined up. Do you think you'd have a different mindset then? I hope you got a ton of value from this. I'd like to know what you thought of this blog post. Let me know in the comment box below. Please visit insiderinternetdating.com.